Hello everyone, GunsPrimZor here with something a little bit different. This isn't my gameplay, this is actually from a site, I forgot what it was called, but yeah, this is Shining Force. If you've been with my channel, you know that I tried to do a Shining Force Let's Play, and it failed miserably. But yeah, I'm here right now actually to talk about why I like this game so much. So I played this game like a long time ago, like very long ago. It was probably one of the first video games in general that I've ever played, probably next to like Pokemon Red or like the original Pokemon games. But it was probably my first. I'm not really sure what to call this. I guess it's a tactical RPG or like I don't know. Like I used to refer to it as like a chess sort of game. Like you move the people and you attack accordingly. But it was really fun to me. I mean, I think it was really cool because you had your own little squad of people. The idea or the I can't really say storyline, but like it's you got your own group of people and you got to control them and you got to move. You got to control what they did. You got to control the actions that they took, and it was just fun. I mean, I can't really put it into words. Yeah, I'm sorry, this is my first time. And that was just really what I liked about it. And starting off, you started off with a group of, I want to say 6 people. Yourself, Luke, Tao or Tao, however you want to pronounce her name. Luke, Tao, yourself, Lo, Ken, Hans. I lost count, but yeah, that was the idea. And as you progressed further into the game, you had more people, and once your people, I think it was level 10 in the original, and at level 10 you could promote them, and they got, for a while they were weaker, but then you could, if you used them enough, then they would get more powerful than the people you already had, or you could choose not to promote them. If that was the case, and they capped off at level 20, and that was all you could do. Oh, excuse me. And throughout the game you could equip them with different weapons. They learn new skills such as healing, certain spells that would hinder the enemy, such as blind, sleep, even there was a spell called death that was just, if it hit, if it connected, instant kill. And it was actually pretty easy just to play. I mean, it was a really easy game to pick up, you could pick it up at any fight in the game, even if you had never played the game before, and you would understand what to do. Pretty much what you did, when the fight started out, yours would be on one end, and then you would be on the other end, and you would, and you would just slowly progress towards each other, inevitably ending in a fight, which is obviously what was going to happen. But and what you would normally do is you would keep your mages in the back, just supporting the people that were attacking head on. And yeah, that's kind of it. There were mages, there were healers. Healers, obviously, specialized in healing. They could heal status conditions. I know Lo learned a spell called Detox, which is how you cured poison. Otherwise, you would lose, health and inevitably die, or your character would die. And they could heal, and then you'd have a whole separate class of mage that would be, I guess it's either wizard or mage, I'm not sure what it's called, or that's just what I would refer to it as. And they would specialize in the offensive magics. There was blaze, there was freeze, there was bolt, there was, I think that was it. Yeah, that was it. And then you would have your archers. Hans was your first one, and I think you ended up getting, the next one you got was Diana. I think she was a little bit better than Hans. Then you would get, I want to say Lyle, but he was I guess an upgraded class of archer. He would use a special type of arrow, and he was a centaur. He'd use this bow cannon. I think it was really cool. Oh, and yeah, my favorite character is Ilo. He was a wolf man. I want to say. And he would just attack using his claws, and he was just all kinds of overpowered. But it was just really cool. And oh yeah, and I forgot the Birdman. You got Barbleroy, I think is how you pronounce his name, and the other one, I'm on. I think there were a couple, but I'm not sure. But yeah, you know, they could like, oh yeah, and all the different kinds of terrain. I completely forgot to mention that. There, you know, there was just regular land, like depending on the terrain would you know would affect how you would move. So if you were just moving on regular like dirt, like if you were just moving on a dirt road, or if you were moving on like a brick castle road or something like that, you know, you wouldn't get hindered too much. You know, nothing would really happen. I mean, you'd probably just move at your regular movement. But if you were, for instance, like if you were a centaur in the forest, or if you were, you know, a regular person in the mountains, like just like a regular human in the mountains, you would get like a movement. You could move as far. And the birdmen, or the bird people, they could move over anything. Like they could move over water, they could move over mountains, they could, you know, do whatever. So you could have them flank, you know, like the enemies, like for instance, like say there was a wall of like really tough enemies such as lizard men, or silver knights, demon knights, I want to say, or skeletons. Skeletons were a biatch, to say the least. Unless you had a mage. Yeah. So like, and like then behind the skeletons or whatever, there were like a whole row of elves, you know, that shot arrows at you. You could have the birdmen come around and flank them, and then you know, like to take out the archers, so your people that were, you know, trying to get at the skeletons wouldn't die or take as much damage. Oh, and another really cool thing is that you would get I guess some sort of a reward if you were to train the weaker people, like for instance Arthur? Yeah, it was Arthur. He was the only knight in the game that could learn spells. But the only way he would learn spells is if you promoted him, and he had the lowest health that I remember. He had, I think, I want to say 6. No, he had more than 6, but yeah, he had really, really low health, and he was a pain in the butt to train. But if you did, and you promoted him, and you trained him, he ended up being a very versatile fighter. He could take on any kinds of enemies, you know, ones that were resistant to physical attacks. He could use magic on. He didn't learn high-level magic, such as, you know, like Blaze level 4. Side note, that's how the magic was categorized. They would categorize it by level. It would go Blaze level, you know, Blaze, Freeze, and Bolt. They would go level 1, 2, 3, and 4. Level 1 would be you could hit one single enemy, and it would do just, you know, a single amount of damage. Level 2 could hit 5 enemies in the shape of a plus sign. So it would hit one on the center, and it would hit one above him, one to the left, right, and one beneath him. And yeah, and level 3 was a longer range. It was a longer range version of level 1. It could only hit one enemy, but it did more damage, and it had another, I want to say, square's length. And then level 4, I'm pretty sure had the same range as level 2, but it had the power of level 3. So it was really, really, really good. Anyway, back to Arthur. So yeah, he would learn, I think, maybe Blaze level 2, then Freeze level 2. I don't really remember. It's been a long time since I've trained Arthur. And he was really good. You know, it was awesome. And not only that, but there were like certain allies that you could acquire by it wasn't necessarily following, well, during the storyline you could activate certain events that could let you get more allies. And Domingo, I want to say, I used to call him Domingo, but then I realized I was wrong. Domingo, he or pretty early into the game, you get you can get an item called the Domingo egg, which you can't do anything with at that point. And then a little whiles later, I just want to say 2 chapters. Another side note, that's how the game's categorized, by chapters. I think there's 8. Yeah, 8 chapters. And I'd say 1 or 2 chapters later, you could go and there was a place where you could hatch the egg, and then you could hatch it, and he became Domingo. And Domingo was a little bit like Arthur. I mean, I'm not saying he was bad. He was by far one of the best people I've probably ever used. You know, I'm not saying I'm a pro, but I played the game a lot. And oh my gosh, am I coming to an end? Okay, I think I am. Well, I'll see you guys later. Like, favorite, and subscribe before the video ends. Oh my god, it's gonna end.